Hey, what is up everyone? This is K Collections, and I'm doing a quick general overview of Arknights. I forgot to do a first impressions for the closed beta, but since it has been officially released, I might as well do one right now. So I'm just going to go over general details about the game, go over, the gacha, the gameplay mechanics, squads, operators, etc, etc, and my overall opinion on it. And just to let you guys know, it's a wonderful game. Go try it out if you haven't yet. And some general tips to let you guys know that I've picked up while playing this game. Obviously, I'm still in the early stages, but I put in a decent amount of time to know what I'm doing a bit, right? There's always room for improvements. So first and foremost, this is a gacha game. This is PvE. There's no PvP as far as I know. Now, I read some forums, there's none, and I don't see how a tower defense game could have a PvP really. But or this type of gameplay specifically will have a PvP. I can't see that happening. But so basically, tier list, it matters because it will make your life so much easier. But ultimately, 3 stars, 4-star units, I guess you could say free-to-play units can work just as well as of right now. And that's the thing to consider. It's not like most games, FGO or like Epic 7, where you want to have the highest rarity servants or characters, heroes, whatever you want to call them, and just have them all in your team. In this game, you need a mixture of low rarities and high rarity units. In this case, they're called operators, right? Because of DP. So DP is deployment cost, and I'm going to go over the gameplay mechanics. Basically, the higher DP a unit has, the longer you'll have to wait in order to use them in battle. And that could be the difference between winning and losing. Literally, if you have nothing but, like, let's say 6 and 5-star operators, you're going to get your ass kicked because you need units with lower DP. So that's very necessary to win in battle. So during team builds, you need a mixture of everyone, right? Different rarities, different type of play styles, and I guess mechanics. So that's very important. Let's go back real quick. Alright, so let's talk about the gacha next, because that's why we're here, right? Because we love eating salts. Let's head to Headhunt, and like every other gacha games, there are banners. You could do a 10 summon or a single summon if you're feeling really lucky. As you can see, we only have 2 banners. This is I call it the intro banner. This is where most players are re-rolling on, because within your first 10 shot, you're guaranteed to get 1 6-star operator. Randomly, of course, you can't choose. I wish you can, but oh well, too bad. And the other banner, there's another nice add-on, guarantee 5-star or higher operator on your first 10 shot. So I do recommend using your 10 shot first. Single summons, I mean, again, if you're feeling really, really lucky. And obviously, if you do like a summon, there is a currency you have to exchange for. What's nice is that there are 2 currency for this. You can actually exchange the Originites for the Orundum, or I can't pronounce it right now. I'll look it up later, right? So I do like that because, as you can see, I don't have enough, right? But I can always exchange it to do a 10 summon. So both of those currency you can actually buy in the shop, spend actual money. Now the recruitment, or the recruit section, this is for free to play. Basically, a 4-star or lower possible rarity, as you can see right there. And basically, what I like about this is that you get to choose a specific class, right? Let's say you need a medic because you don't have any, or you need duplicates to improve your current one, which I will go over in the operator section. And I'll talk about that a bit later, like I said. But let's say you don't have a medic, you just choose medic, and then you get to, try to summon them. And it does take some time, about 1 hour, and then you get to summon them. It's not for free though, because as you can see, I don't have LMD. That's basically money. You need that to promote your operators, to level them up, to do everything. So that's the main thing you're going to have to farm for, which is a huge hassle, but it is what it is. As you can tell, I ran out. So use this wisely, because as you can see, the recruitment's permanent. I only have 22. Use this to improve your current characters. You can't choose who you're going to get, but you may most likely get duplicates. And let's go to the operators now. So that's basically the summoning system. Okay, let's talk about the operators and basically how the leveling up system works. So let's go to Franca, and basically you do need experience cards to level your characters up, and you have to grind for that, as well as the LMD like I mentioned earlier. Think of this as QP, right, if I'm using FGO terminology. So I could level her up, and obviously I can't because I'm broke. I ran out of LMD. And you can max a certain character out. Let's say, let's go to Silver Ash, who's actually top tier. So he's maxed out, and promotion is basically ascending your units. Again, continuing with the FGO terminology so you guys can kind of understand. So you do need certain materials that I don't have, and by ascending them, by basically promoting them, as you see on this corner right here, you know, he will unlock a new skill, kind of like a servant FGO. But there is some downside to this because the DP cost will increase. Again, DP cost is very important, you know, in battle, and I'll go over that a bit later. So that's somewhat of a trade-off. I wouldn't suggest promoting all your units yet. Kind of save on those for now. I mean, they're not going to go anywhere as long as you have the materials and everything. So basically, you have to max out your character first in terms of level, and then promoting them will rank them up, and then they get to unlock new skills. So I basically promoted Fang, right? And her DP did increase a bit. And oh, let's go back real quick. And basically, her skills, or you know, she unlocks new talents. Basically, your units get stronger. And talents is basically passive abilities. For this ability, you know, DP costs -1, which is very helpful. I forgot the most important thing are the classes. So there are 8 classes: Vanguard, Guard, Defender, etc, etc. Pause this video if you want to read up on the specialty of the unit. It's nice to have a nice mixture of classes. But if you know how a certain battle or certain arena, how it operates, let's say you need more Vanguard, for example, faster deployment to win, then obviously you would use that. Let's say you don't need medics. There's no point in having medics in your squad. But generally, having a nice mixture of all classes within your squad is recommended. And obviously, again, this will be talked about during the gameplay mechanic, but the range is basically where they can hit. Most importantly are the attributes, basically, you know, max HP, attack, etc, etc. Block is very important. Block and cost. Cost is DP, like I mentioned earlier. But block is basically, I'll give you an example. If there are 3 enemies and he can only block 2, it means 1 enemy will go through him. And basically you can lose if that enemy goes to your territory. And I'll talk about that during the mechanics. So the duplicate units, this is why 4 stars and under, basically free-to-play units are very helpful early on. So let's go to her because I can increase her potential. If you have duplicates, all you have to go to is the potential, and this will increase some kind of status, or you know, in this case, decrease DP cost, which makes it so much better. And redeployment time, excuse me, is also very helpful. Let's say she dies, or you know, you take her out the battle, you know, there will be less wait time for you to redeploy her. So that's very helpful, and that's why, you know, having multiple units of the same units early on is very helpful. Obviously, you're not gonna have, let's say, 6 Silver Ashes, you know, because unless you're whaling, then yeah, sure, that will help. And like I mentioned earlier, the talent is more so like passive abilities, which is very helpful. And you unlock these as you rank up, you know, as well as unlocking new skills and everything, right? So very important. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about you get to level up your skills like every other game. So you do need materials, and yeah, it's pretty generic stuff right there. So that's basically the operators, how to improve them, and how to basically make them more efficient in battle. So definitely look at the characters in terms of skill sets, their range, deployment costs. There's so many things you have to consider in battle. Alright, and again, the classes are very important. So let's go back to the home page. So for the base, I'm not going to talk about it too in-depthly because I'm still learning myself, and I'm obviously still in the early stages. But basically, it's a place where you build, you know, you can upgrade it, and you get to generate materials, LMD, or get experience cards on the back end without grinding, right? So this game isn't all about grinding. If you play Epic 7, this should be somewhat familiar for you, where you get to, you know, generate materials, weapons, etc, etc. So that's the general overview about the base. Again, I don't know too much about it yet. I'm still building mines, and but once I get to know more about you know, how this operates, and you know, good tips I could share, then I'll share it with you guys. But I just want to let you guys know on what this basically is. As for everything else on the homepage, let's go to missions real quick. Basically, this is, as it sounds, missions you can complete. Let's say you kill 100 enemies, you get rewards, and a lot of gacha games have this. So it's no surprise, or it's not like a new mechanic. You know, you get to redeem it, you know, for experience cards or whatever the prize is by completing these specific missions. So let me just redeem these real quick because I've been late. I'll do that later. Forget it. Yeah, I'll do that way later. I have too much to collect. As for everything else on the homepage, you have your daily logins. This is a calendar where it tells you what material or what item you'll get if you log in on that day. Just log in every day. Just, you know, open the app, tap a few screens, and get your rewards. Mailing system. If you pre-register, you'll get a lot of gifts, and basically this is where you get to collect those gifts. And pretty self-explanatory. The notifications, this is basically their news systems. You know, they tell you what banners upcoming or what's the current banners, events. There's also system announcements as well. Again, really self-explanatory. If you play gacha games, you'll know these things. Also settings, this is where you get to, you know, control, you know, the volume, the game, etc, etc. Now for your account, if you have a great account, let's say you have like, you know, all the 6 stars, you want to bind it by using your email, Twitter, or there are other methods. This is a way to make sure even if you lose the data is lost, basically your phone breaks, whatever, you can transfer over. So that's very important. So now let's talk about the friend system real quick. I'm just joking. Basically it's the same thing, you know, add friends. You know, there is a support system, although I don't encourage you using it unless you really have to, and I'll talk about that in the combat section. So let's talk about fighting, or how this you know, the battle mechanic works. So I'm just gonna choose some random easy stage so I can talk about the gameplay mechanic a bit simpler. And don't worry if I butcher this explanation. The tutorial will go through everything you need, but I'll try to go over the general details. Just pause the game real quick. So, as you can see, on the bottom right corner, there is, you know, there's the letter C and 10. That's basically your deployment cost that I mentioned about earlier. I have 10 right now, so I can't, you know, deploy any of the units that has higher than 10. And it depends on the certain arena. Sometimes the costs will basically increase as time goes on. Other times you have to kill enemies to increase it. Or you just have a set limit. Let's say you have 30, and then you have to set up your positioning of your units, and then hopefully you can win. And basically, if you see the little castle on the top right, not the top right, the center right of the screen, you see there's 8. Basically, there are 2 boxes. I was about to say sphere for some reason. There's 2 boxes. The red is where the enemies will come from. And the blue is basically your life. If one enemy goes to that box, that's your territory, you lose basically 1 health, and that 8 will go to 7. Next to it, you see enemy. There are 35 enemies. I haven't killed any yet, so it's 0 out of 35. The more you kill, you know, they display it basically. So let's say if I killed 5 out of 35, you know you have 30 left. So let's display. I'm not display. Let's bring out my units. I have 20 cost. So by using a unit or deploying them, the cost will go down. Silver Ash is gonna cost me 18, and then once you place him onto the map, you get to choose where he gets to attack, and the highlighted field is where he's going to attack. Right, so let's do that. And to check more details about the character, like I said, you know, the range and the block system is really important because, like I mentioned earlier, if there are 3 enemies, 1 will go through. Basically, I have no one guarding my territory, you know, the box. I will lose a life, basically. Let's deploy someone else. Let's put a attacker. I don't really care. This is an easy round. Let's choose a sniper. Put her up there. So basically, ground enemies won't be able to attack my sniper, which is her. Jessica, but there are drones or other magical type of enemies that can hurt her from above, right? Because she's not on the ground, ground units can't hurt her unless they have some kind of range attack. Let's display, not display, let's deploy her. Magic user. Again, certain enemies will take specific damage. Some tanks will only be affected if you use magic users, right? Let's deploy a tank right here. And just for... let's cancel that. Let's deploy a tank right here just to safeguard just in case, right? And you get to just go crazy. Obviously, the more you progress, the harder and challenging the gameplay will be. There are other strategic things you can use, such as blocks to block your enemy's advances, or like a stun grenade that's located on the map. So there are a lot of cool mechanics. Let's continue real quick. I'm just gonna do whatever I want right now. So I have 2 units left. If a character dies, I get to use a different unit. And let's say, yeah, there we go. Someone died, right? And basically, it'll take almost a minute for me to use her again. Just use a unit right there. To use special abilities, just click the unit, and you can read what it does, and click it to confirm, and she'll use her special ability. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. You could increase the speed if you want. Here's my healer. Obviously, I'm not taking this seriously, so some of my units are dying. Let's see what else. I have one more unit I can use. The redeployment for some of the previously killed off units I had will take 30 seconds. Let's put another unit here or whatever. Obviously, I'm just being sloppy. Just use her ability. Some skills are automatic, so you don't have to worry about it. And basically, I'm done. They kill that unit. There you go. Mission complete. Just some sloppy gameplay. There are more strategies involved. Like every gacha game, once you beat a certain round, you get, like experience, materials, whatever. Do I want to say? Oh, the autoplay. Now this is important. Just not save that because that was awful. So there's a lot of grinding in this game. And it's a hassle. Great thing about it is that if you get a 3-star rating, you get to auto deploy. Basically, what this means is that, as the name suggests, you don't have to manually play this. The computer AI will take care of everything. They'll replay what you did, but only if you earn 3 stars. So I'm just gonna show you guys right now. There you go. I'm not touching the screen or anything. It's just gonna go by itself. You can always take over, as you can see. And this is a great way just to, grind. Just tap a few buttons, leave your phone alone, maybe surf the internet, watch a movie, wherever. So I do like that system, but you need 3 stars. And in order to get 3 stars, you cannot use support, which is why I said I don't really encourage using support unless you have to. So the main goal of this game is to get 3 stars for every round. For every quest. That way you could just have auto deploy, and it just makes life a lot easier. So that's very important. I'm just cancel. It doesn't matter. Oh, also if you lose some of your sanity, which is basically AP, will be refunded to you. So that's very nice. Unlike FGO, you use 40 AP, you lose. Hell, you lose all of it. So that's just the gameplay mechanic. Let's go back real quick. Okay, to end this overview off, I'm going to give you a few tips, and I'm going to make a separate video, just some general beginner tips that I picked up. So first and foremost, let's head to combat real quick. Try to complete the story as fast as possible. That way you unlock special, quests. You get to unlock supplies, which is basically where you get to grind for experience cards or LMD. Right, so progress through the story. It's not that hard. I'll talk about reroll later, but basically, if you reroll, let's go ahead hunt real quick. You want to get a good unit, right? Like I said, tier list helps a lot in terms of making life a lot easier. A lot of players are trying to get 2 6-stars within a single roll. That's why I highly encourage. I was just lazy. I just stopped with Silver Ash. So going back to combat. Supplies, this is basically where you get materials. Cargo escort is where you get to get your LMD, and there are specific days where these quests are available. As you can see, open on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. The experience card is open every day, and like I mentioned earlier, you want to get 3 stars up here on the top right corner, so you can just auto battle. You don't have to waste time manually, deploying units and everything. That's very time consuming. So a few tips that I will mention is don't make the same mistake I did. So I was one of those folks who oh, higher rarity is better kind of thing. I learned that the hard way. So some of my higher rarity units, I maxed them out first, which is a big mistake because later quest where I need to grind, the DP cost was just so high and I got my ass kicked. So what you want to do is, don't neglect them, right? Choose 1, 2, maybe 3 high rarity units to level them up. Don't, like I mentioned earlier, do not promote them yet because, if you can, that is. Don't promote them yet because DP costs will increase, which will suck. As of right now, focus on your lower rarity units, specifically 3 stars, right? And don't forget to always recruit. Right, I'd say try to get the units that you don't have yet, but also get the same units so you can make them stronger. So that's very important. Focus on more so your 3 stars because they are the backbone of your success as of right now. Later stages is going to be a different story, but early stages, especially where I'm at right now, I gotta level up some of my even 2-star units and basically get more copies of them to promote them and make them a lot better. Because the DP cost is just insane. When some of the quests, there are a lot of enemy units that just rush you down. So having only high rarity, high DP cost units is not ideal. Another tip I want to talk about is where a store. Okay, so I know most people are free to play, right? I spent $1 because let's go to packs real quick. For $1. You get a really solid unit, and obviously you get to, get some free experience cards. Don't forget to get that either. I'm gonna go to that unit real quick. I think her name was, what was her name? Gummy. There you go. She's an excellent tank, right? Because her ability, one of her passive ability, is that she can heal. So I'm a tank that can heal and can heal your allies. It's very great, or very amazing. So, $1, I mean, it's worth it in my opinion. It's up to you though. You can survive without her. I just think it is worth it. You can also go to credit store. Basically, you'll get credit and you get exchange for these items, which is very helpful, right? And this is something that I encourage you to experiment on your own. I don't want to talk about everything because part of the fun is to, look at these, information yourself, see what you like. But basically, there are monthly cards, basically monthly packs I meant, and you get to buy the currency to summon. So that's it, everyone. I know it was a bit all over the place, but that's the general overview of Arknights. Highly encourage you to try this game out. It's a nice change of pace if all you play is turn-based RPG games or something on your phone. So highly recommend this. It's so fun. Comment down below, did you try Arknights yet? Are you going to try it, or is tower defense not your type of game? Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck on your summons and everything. Comment down below, let me know what your friend ID is. I'll try to add you. As of right now, I only have 1 friend, so I'm kind of lonely. Alright everyone, have an awesome day.